All right. The next thing. The next ones are rejecting unreasonable claims based on average statistics. So basically they want you to read these to see if they would be a reasonable thing or not, or did somebody just try to trick you with their statistics. It says a private college advertised that last year their freshman students on average had a score of 1,160 on the college entrance exam. Assuming that the average refers to the mean, which is the following claims must be true based on this information. More than one statement could be true. If none of the statements is true, mark the appropriate box that says none of the statements is true. So, knowing that the average score was 1,160, can we say that next year some of the freshman students will have a score of at least 1,160? Do you know that for sure, or is that just a guess? It's just a guess. So we can't say that's true. That's just somebody guessing that they're going to. Just because this year they did, doesn't mean next year it's going to happen, right? Last year, at least one of the freshman students had a score of exactly 1,160. Do we know that for sure, or is that just a guess? Do we know that somebody had exactly 1,160 just because the mean was 1,160? No, we don't, right? Somebody might have had that score, but we don't know that. The mean is just the average, so that doesn't mean somebody had exactly that. So that one is not true for sure. So we can't say that's true. Last year, some of the freshman students had a score of less than 1,000 on the exam. Do we know that for sure? Or is that just a guess? Anton's shaking his head no. No, we don't know that, right? We don't know where the end score was, if it was at 1,000 or not. We know that we had to have some that were less than this number, but not necessarily less than that number. Last year, all of the freshman students had a score of 1,160 or above. If I know my average was 1,160, did everybody have that score or above? No, somebody had to have less than that for the average to turn out to that, right? So nope, that one's not true either. They give us all not trues, by the way, on this one. Last year, the number of freshman students who had a score of more than 1,160 on the exam was equal to the number of freshman students who had a score of less than 1,160. So just because I have a mean of 1,160 doesn't mean that I have an equal number on each side. That would be true if it was the median, but not of the mean, right? So on this one, none of these things are actually true, just because I know what the mean is. They're all just made up things. The next one will have something that's true at least. So on number 8, a job placement agency advertised that last year its clients on average had a starting salary of $40,000. Assuming that the average refers to the mean, which of the following claims must be true based on that information? So last year, all of the clients had a starting salary of $40,000 or more. True or false? False, right? If my mean is 40,000, that doesn't mean everybody has 40,000. Last year, fewer than half of my clients had a starting salary of 40,000 or less. False. Again, we can't say that it's exactly half. If it's the average, it doesn't mean it's half. If it was median, we could maybe say that. This year, some of the clients will have a starting salary of at least $40,000. Can we say that one's true? If that said last year we could, but it says this year, right? So we cannot make any predictions about what's going to happen this year based on last year's average. So if it says this year, we can't say that's true because we don't know what's happening this year. The next one, last year, some of the clients had a starting salary of more than $36,000. If my average was $40,000, do some of them have more than $36,000? Yeah, they'd have to, right? So that is the only true one based on what we know from last year. Anytime they say this year and they're referring to last year, we know that one's not going to work. But here, if we know it has to be at least 40,000, some of them had to have more than 36,000. Number 9. Assuming an investment company advertised that last year its clients on average made a profit of 7%. Assuming that average refers to mean, which of the following claims must be true based on this information? So, last year, some of the clients made a profit of more than 4%. That's true. Since we know the average was 7% last year, we know that some people have to make more than 4%. Otherwise, the average couldn't be at 7%. Last year, at least one of the clients made a profit of exactly 7%. Can we say that for sure? No, we can't. Watch for that. Whenever it says exactly, you don't know what the exact numbers are. You only know what the median or the mean is, right? So if it says exactly, it's probably not true. Last year, at least one of the clients made a profit of less than 7%. True. That would be true, right? My average is 7%, so at least one person had to have less than 7%. Probably more than one had less than 7%, but at least one did. Last year, the number of clients who made a profit of less than 7% was equal to the number of clients who made a profit that was more than 7%. Can we say the two things are equal just because we know the mean? No, we can't, right? The mean is the average. It doesn't mean it splits it in half. That's the median. So no. This year, some of the clients will make a profit of at least 7%. False. We can't say that's true. We don't know what's going to happen this year. So anytime they say this year and they were talking about last year's statistics, we can't say it's true. We don't know what's going to happen this year. So, the only true ones based on knowing that the mean was 7% last year are the first one and the third one.